you? We are getting ready to do our conscious hour. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Kathleen, the author, the speaker, and all of that, here to bring you live some stories that will help provoke or elevate your conscious thought. So get ready, get ready, get ready, and tag and tell a friend to join us on this live. As a matter of fact, do that right now. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you're not on YouTube, I would like for you to tag and tell a friend. Send over the invites, hit that share button, and let them know that the Conscious Coach is about to go live in 1 minute. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Kathleen, and I am your conscious coach. Thank you for joining me on this live video. We're just getting ready to get started. Still have time to tag and share with a friend. Welcome, 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 you guys. I appreciate you being here with me today. I hope you had a great Sunday. Did you have a great Sunday? I hope you had a great, great Sunday. So thank you so much for joining me on this live. This is the Conscious Hour. So I just tasted my husband's ribs and they are delicious. So I'm going to run through this show real fast. No, I'm just joking. I'm joking. I'm not. But they were so good. They were so delicious. So anyway, yeah, we're going to be talking about Ice Cube today. We're going to be talking about Meg the Stallion and her being violated, violently assaulted. And we don't know the whole story, but she got shot in the foot. We know that much. And she shared that much, should I say. So we're going to get into that, honey. Yes, we are, darlings. So thank you for joining me on this live. Let's get into it. Make sure you hit the share button, like I said, and let your family and friends know that I am on live. A show worth watching, right? This is the Conscious Hour with your conscious coach, Kathleen. Hi, guys. I hope you guys are staying safe. We are still very much so in this COVID-19 situation. So hopefully you guys are wearing your PPE. You're taking care of yourself, you're taking care of your family. You're doing everything that's absolutely necessary for you to stay safe. That's what I hope, because I play no games. When something comes into this house, it is getting Cloroxed. By the way, did you guys see that Clorox actually has two different products? That was interesting. So one is supposedly a disinfectant, and the other one actually kills germs. So I guess we got to read the labels at this point. So make sure you read the labels when you go out to buy your Clorox products. Just threw that in there. Just threw it on in there. So yeah, I am Kathleen, your conscious coach. And let's go ahead on and we can go ahead on and get started. So first up, we are going to talk about Meg the Stallion. Now, who doesn't know Meg the Stallion, right? At this point, a lot of people don't actually. It's like knowing Oprah. A lot of people know Oprah, but then a lot of people don't know Oprah. So you don't know who knows Oprah. You know Oprah, right? I know Oprah. Oprah is like the person I looked up to when I was a kid. And I was like, wow, look what she's doing. I think I can do that when I'm doing it right now. How about that? All right, so let's get into Meg the Stallion. Let's see what this is all about. So, Meg the Stallion, of course, is a female. What's the girl's name? You may have seen her with. It's another little setup I like on here better than that one. Oh, it didn't let me do it. Okay. Well, Meg the Stallion, you may have seen her on a video WAP with Cardi B. With Cardi B. So you may have seen her on the video WAP with Cardi B. We all, I did anyway, had a comment about that video. It was very adult. It needed some parental guidance up in the little on the little thingy, right? So I don't know if I'm on YouTube adult, so I don't know. But Meg the Stallion, you see this guy Tory Lanez, that's who she was shot by. She's known for twerking and having extremely strong knees. This is the guy who shot her. His name is Tory Lanez. Now she says that the guy shot her in the foot. We don't doubt her. At least I don't. I don't doubt her. I don't know all the details of what happened. But there's no reason for me to doubt her. So she said she was shot in the foot, and hopefully I have the right picture up here. So this guy's Tory Lanez. He's a rapper. Now, if you're like a person who's on Instagram a lot, like I am, like I love social media, then he was doing like live shows. And he was doing like live shows, and he was basically going live on Instagram and had people like jumping on or whatever. And so, like I said, I'm a social media person. I don't listen to his rap or anything like that. I don't listen to Meg the Stallion or nothing like that. But I'm just one of those people who like to keep up with what's going on. That's just how I am. So he shot her in the foot. Apparently, she was at a party at the Kardashians with Kylie Jenner or whoever, one of them people. And they were in this SUV at some point. And at some point, he shot her in the foot. Uh, More than once, I think. I can't remember all the details, but that's what happened. And so it has stoked or and provoked this conversation in our community about the protection of Black women. And if you know anything else about what's been trending and whatever, Kiki Palmer said she was assaulted by Trey Songz whenever. And so now some other females came out and said he did something to them. Speaking of Trey Songz, and they were, I guess, not African American women. And so all of a sudden, that story is getting attention now. And they're saying, like, why aren't Black women protected? And so, speaking of Meg Thee Stallion and all her situation, and Kiki Palmer and Trey Songz and all of that, the main focus is why aren't Black women being protection? Like where's the protection? Where's the Black woman's protection plan, right? So Halle Berry came forward. She had comments. Michael B. Jordan came forward. So many other people came forward and had something to say about Black women being protected. And so that's Halle Berry. And next over is Michael B. Jordan. And then on further, to your left or right, the young lady with the beautiful hair going with the red on. That's Meg Thee Stallion. And so they jumped in the conversation to say, basically, the sentiment is we've got to do more in terms of protecting Black women. We've got to take them seriously. Now, if you know anything else about the protection of Black women, there's a promo going around, a video, an ad, or whatever, educational clip, talking about how a Black baby, is more likely to survive if a Black baby is more likely to survive if the doctor is Black. So it's a lot that we need to pay attention to. We know in health right now there's a disparity with COVID-19 in terms of African American people disproportionately being affected by the COVID-19 virus. So, I'm one of those people. I mean, look at her now in the video with Cardi B and the rest of the chicks or whatever, WAP. And we know that she's a performer. That's what she does. Um, you know, that's what she does. I don't condone a lot of it because I understand the influence that it has on our younger people, on our younger generation. So I'm not here for that. But as far as protecting black women, I will look now. My dad and my grandfather and my brothers taught me early, young, like 9, how to shoot a gun, and I own a gun. Uh, I have access to guns, I should say. So all I'm saying is, ladies, protect yourself. Also, people, take us seriously. If someone is assaulting a black woman, verbally abusive, physically abusive, none of that is okay. And we just can't say, "Oh, that's toxic," right? Because that's a new language that we speak, and that's good. But we also have to speak to the fact that something has to be done about it. When we are affected by violence, something has to be done about it. And in this case, it's like, why isn't Tory Lanez locked up? Like, why isn't he locked up already? So that's the question. Like, why isn't this guy locked up? He's violated her. Clearly, she's shot in the foot. So then she goes on to say that he's been lying, which provoked her to speak out and share her story. As you can see, the Shade Room shared the story and all of that. And so this is a screenshot. All the pics you see are screenshots. So some of them are a little blurry and all of that stuff. But they're screenshots captured from social media, website, whatever. But that's Meg Thee Stallion. She had her head all wrapped up, probably had on a hoodie or whatever. But just saying, like, why would I lie on this dude? Oh, and another part to that was this. She expressed her sincere concern that if she called the police or told the police on the spot what had happened, she feared for her safety. Because you know how cops treat black people, which is a genuine concern. So she talked about her safety, not only that, but the safety of the person who violated her. Like, this dude just shot me in the foot, but I'm scared to tell the police what just happened. I fear that they may gun down all of us. Sad to say, that's a reality. Like, that's real. Like, that's a reality for black people. And it just makes it even worse for black women, because not only do we have to deal with violence and cruelty and rudeness and being unappreciated, and you know statistics say we're less likely to get married, and we got to deal with abuse, domestic violence, and then on top of that, we have to think about protecting the people who literally hurt us. I just want us to just have a conscious moment about that, how real that is. So we can kind of just step back and realize the type of community we really need to be shifting to be. You know what I mean? Because if we collectively don't understand the power internally, in our own culture, in our own race, to shift this dynamic, then that's a hurting thing. It's a hurting thing for black women, because I have to be honest with you, even being a victim myself of assault and even sexual assault, things like that do come to mind, where I'm like, first of all, who in the black community is going to believe me? Which I'm over that part, because I'm way past that. But for some women, it's a struggle because they're thinking, who in the black community is going to support me and believe me, right? And then when I go to the police station, they don't take me seriously, which I can tell you that as a teen, when I first went to report my rape, they didn't take me seriously. And a lot of them were like, that's what happened in your community. You're right. You know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate, but hey, do you want to go through all the trouble of doing this and doing that? I'm like, yeah. But then they start telling me, well, you got to prove all of this. Okay, I'm a teen. I didn't even know what was up, what to do, or nothing. So it's kind of like it's worse than a double-edged sword when it comes to black women. It's a triple, quadruple, sextuplet. I mean, it's against us. And so the whole race collectively has to really think about what are we going to do for black women? And black women, hello, we need to think about, what we can do for ourselves. More than just wear a t-shirt, right? Because everybody got these t-shirts now, protect black women at all costs and all that. But we're more than a t-shirt. There's something real that needs to happen in our community because black women are suffering on every hand. It's like we going through something. If it's not single parent status, then we got domestic violence, probably parent with single parent status. Or we have marriage, but we still have abuse, all kinds of abuse. I know you guys don't see cheating as abuse, but it is. It's mental abuse, it's financial abuse. Because a lot of times women, they want to exit the relationship, but they depend on the guy for finances because that's their life and they're not able to leave. So it's a lot that goes into being a black woman in America. It's a lot that goes into that. It's a lot when it comes to our safety. It's a lot when it comes to just our overall well being. Because not only speaking of Meg the Stallion being shot and just having a sense at that moment that I need to protect myself, but I need to protect. It's not. I don't think she was thinking I need to literally like protect him, but her just knowing it's a possibility we all could end up shot and dead right here tonight, and it could literally be explained away on paper and never even. And I'll be one of those say her name type of situations. It just put me in an uneasy place. You know what I mean? When she said that, when she expressed her concern about the whole situation and about potentially the person that hurt her, it's like you gotta. Oh, let me slow down. It's like you gotta look out for everybody, but who's looking out for you as a black woman? Just as a black woman, where is the protection for the black women on all levels? Where is the protection for the black woman? And I want us to really, because guess what? If there's no protection when we're little girls, who's going to protect us as we get older? Because we live in situations where there's single parent homes, so there's no dad there, and then and then we got to get out here in this world without having a father, and we got to deal with that. And I'm talking about from birth until we become adult women. And then when we become adult women, we have to deal with these men in these relationships. And, 5 times out of 10, actually, probably 8 times out of 10, most of those relationships are garbage because the men we deal with are verbally abusive, financially abusive. All types of abuse is happening in our community. And I just don't think we're taking this serious enough. And I remember, and I'm going to go to the next story. I remember when I was young, and it was actually okay for men to beat their wives or girlfriends. So if you were in a cohabiting situation, your dude could literally beat you up. The police could come. I'm 47. This is when I was a teen, a young girl. The police could come, see you there, bloody, ask you, do you need to go to the hospital? You say yes or no. You go to the hospital, you stay at home, it doesn't matter. They didn't even lock them up. Now, this has nothing to do with race, but I'm speaking to my race of people because this was on all levels for all women, totally disregarded. So, from this Meg the Stallion story, people are now revisiting the story of R. Kelly. They're revisiting the Cosby, Russell Simmons. And I heard on one platform where they was talking about why are we still giving Russell Simmons a platform? This dude was accused of rape. I don't care how much money you have. Trey Songs, I don't care what your name is. Chris Brown, when he had that whole situation with Rihanna, we've got to stop. We have to stop, and then we have to start taking it seriously. What's happening in our community, and that's on facts. And I'm sorry, but I'm just here to tell you, black man, I can't protect you. Sister Kathy can't. I cannot. Now, I ain't talking about no nonsense or no bull about calling the police on you to do you dirty, no matter what happened between us and all them. I ain't talking about that. But I'm talking about if you out here raping black women, assaulting black women, and doing damage to black women, like I said, I ain't talking about the cheating and the relationship stuff. That type of hurt, which is a hurt, real hurt, but it's different. I'm talking about when you physically laying hands on people and causing them actually bodily harm. That's not okay. To rape a woman, to slap a woman, to punch, throw her down, hit her with a car, push her, throw an object and hit her in the head. All this, whatever you're doing, drag her, smother her, choke her. I don't know. I'm just saying, not only, and it ain't about, the women fighting back. It's about why are you doing it? Check that at the door. Like, why are you doing it? You got to check your mental because something about your mental is not right. It's one thing the Bible says that's really, really good. And it talks about how to treat a woman. And one of the things it says is that no man hitteth himself. In other words, you should know not to hit your woman because, well, unless you got a mental problem, you're not going to go in the bathroom and whack yourself upside the head, are you? You're not going to throw yourself into a wall, are you? Are you going to bang your own head into the wall? Are you going to slam your own head onto the concrete? Then he lets us know in the Word of God that I'm telling you, that's not how you treat a woman. Oh, look, I'm giving y'all lessons here. Read your Bible. Which I was reading an article over the weekend that talked about how black people are the most religious people on the planet. Like we claiming God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit and everything, child. But we are the most dysfunctional people on the planet, and we are one of the poorest. Something's not right about that. So I always say, apply Hosea 4 and 6, where it said, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Oh, I'll take you to church. Don't think you ain't going to go to church on here. I'm a minister too. Okay? Chosen, honey. That's what that chosen means. Let's move on to the next one. So the next one is Ice Cube. Now, let me tell y'all something. I'm a huge Ice Cube fan. Saints, close your ears. Close your ears. But I was, close your ears, but I'm just I gotta drop this. I got to drop the truth. I cannot lie. God is in heaven. He sees me. He knows. He knows how I feel. Back in the day when it was Public Enemy, Queen Latifah, all the real hip hop artists that spoke to our liberties in terms of civil liberties. Ice Cube had a song called F the Police. I was all about the political movement, even in my teenage years. And so I was a teen when they came out with all of this. We're all about the same age. We're in our 40s. Ice Cube, the Public Enemy, I think Flavor Flav is like in his 50s or something, 60s, I don't know. But anyway, I inspired to be a hip hop artist myself because I was in love with the poetic leadership of civil rights. It was just dope to me. Like I was all, look, they had me. I was at the house writing, you know. So, needless to say, was and is that dude, right? He has a 3-minute video on social media now where he is basically asking the question, and Ice Cube, the title is Ice Cube has every right to ask, but that's not very gangster or an example of leadership. And I really, you know what? I'm gonna change that. I don't like that one. Let's see. I'm gonna change that to Ice Cube has every right to ask. Ooh, what would I change it to? Y'all gonna think this is ghetto. So that's Ice Cube. Like I said, I know him from back in the day. Back in the day. Um, when he was making movies. Ooh, look at that. That's hilarious. Look at that. Okay, so that's Ice Cube from back in the day. Now, Ice Cube is a rapper. Like I said, he's from that era where when hip hop first started off, it was about the people, it was about civil liberties, it was about exposing the truth about how police treat us. Now, if you think about it, Ice Cube, when did that come out? It had to come out like in the 90s because I was a teen. I know I was a teen. I think I was a teen. I'm 47 now, so that had to be like 20 some years ago. Yeah. And so, look, I can't help it. I got to find out when did, you know what? Let's see. Express Yourself, 1988. Wow. Ugh, 1988. I had to look it up. So 1988 was when Ice Cube first came out. I don't know if that was his first record, but that was the first one where we was like, yeah, we was doing our thing. Back then we used to see walk and gangster walk and we used to do all that stuff. Remember Gore-Tex and all that good stuff. And oh boy, I grew up close to Memphis, Tennessee, and so we had MJ, what was it, MJG, 8 Ball and MJG. We had all that. And then I moved to Atlanta. I was still young. I was about 18 or 19 years old. We had all that. Tip, whatever was going on at the time. I was very much into the hip hop scene. We wore the color block. We had TLC. Oh man, it was just that was the life back then. So Ice Cube grew his brand from just being a rapper. He got into movies. Of course, he made more music from F the Police. He made more music after that. He got into movies. Are we there yet? He did a few more. He did the Kevin Hart. They're playing cops. I forgot the name of it. Ride Alone. Yeah. And then he was looking at buying NBA teams, things like that. So Ice Cube has always been something that we all need to see. We all need to read. And you know what? I was going in on Ice Cube. I'm just going to tell you the truth. Ask Ice Cube to forgive me right now, my brother. Because I just like, it's like, come on, Cube, you can do more than what you're doing. And I hadn't really read a whole lot about what you were doing. And you weren't really articulating what you were actually doing. And it seemed kind of shallow to me. But nevertheless, I apologize. Dear King, this queen apologizes. And I really like what you're doing. I'm just going to put that out there. Just try to save a little piece of my face here. So Ice Cube in his 3-minute video, he's actually asking what are the politicians going to do when they get in office. Now, I don't like that question per se because I like for us to have a plan of action of what we're going to do regardless of who's in office. I don't care that Trump is in office right now. We have people on the local level that we need to deal with, like the judges, the prosecutors, our chief of police, the mayor, about things that's happening in our local city and county before we even get to state, before we even get to, federal and all that stuff. There's still work that we can be doing boots on the ground right now with local government, even when it comes to voting in local government. Guys, listen, if we are able to change our local government system, then by default, we collapse the federal system. Y'all ain't hearing me. If we are able to break down the local systems, which will stop them from stopping Black people, this is what I say, stop them from stopping Black people, make sure that are not committing crimes. You don't witness them committing a crime, don't even stop Black people. Declare a national crisis, that Blacks are in a national crisis like they did in Michigan. I think it was Minnesota, Michigan, one of them. And so there are things that we can do on a local level that we can push our governor to do, our mayor to do. It's things that we can bring to the forefront in our local community. Like we can go to our own local banks and find out their lending practices. We don't have to wait for Trump to be kicked out of office, which, by the way, go vote, go vote, go vote. Please register to vote. Like I got somebody to register to vote this past week. I'm ecstatic. But let's do more. I talk about voting all the time. We have to vote. And people are saying, well, voting has no power. They're gonna do what they want to do, yada yada yada. Do you see how hard they're working to try to break down the voting system? You see how hard they're trying to close down polls, shut down the US Postal Service? Like they out there trying to really do their thing, and we have to do our thing. See, it's always two wheels turning at the same time. We always, the enemy, the evil one is always over here doing this, and we got to be over here doing this at all times. It never changes. So Ice Cube, one of the things he wants to see is he wants to see some changes. And he talks about that in his 3-minute video. Like, what are they going to do? Doesn't matter who we elect to office and all that kind of stuff. Well, it does matter, Ice Cube. It really does. We really want Trump out, and we have to do that. At the same time, we got to be some same time people now. Say same time. Say same time again. Same time. Say same time one more time. Same time. We have to be some same time people. At the same time that we're trying to get Trump out and get Biden in, we have to go to our local. We have to find our congressman. We have to find our governor. We got to talk to our chief of police. We got to get all this done. And we have to talk to our beautiful children, right? And change what goes on in our homes. We have to do all this at the same time. Good thing we on quarantine, can't go nowhere. We got plenty of time to study, read, follow people, and all kinds of stuff, don't we? That's what we need to be doing. We need to educate ourselves. So I have his contract up right here. I wish I could share my screen, which is a feature I'm supposed to have with this app, with this system that I'm using, operating system that I'm using, but it doesn't allow me to. I think they should give me a partial refund, but let me talk to them first. But I have it up here. Sorry, you can't see it. Let me share the link with you. Let me share the link. These are all I'm talking about Ice Cube. So this is all your little Ice Cube links right here. I'm gonna put it in the chat. That's what I'm gonna do for you. Put it in the chat. Because Ice Cube really got some dope stuff on here. Like legit, it's dope. And I'm proud. I'm proud of this. It's a contract. It's the contract for Black Americans. Now you can chat with me. Let me open up chat. Let me open up chat right quick. And you can actually chat with me. Hello from the country's coach. Okay, I just posted that. Now I'm getting ready to post okay, that's cool, but let me do this, please. This thing always trying to tell me what to do. You can't tell me what to do. Come on, don't do that. Oh, peanut butter and jelly. Ah, what? This is so messed up. You won't let me open chat. Oh, you can try to type something in chat and let me see if I see it here. So the chat is ready to display messages. Click on message and it will show on the screen. That's for me. But anyway, If you have a comment, just type it there. So, what was I saying about Ice Cube? So, let me tell you about the letter that he has. So, Ice Cube has this letter that I happen to have up. I want to share the link with you guys. This maybe it won't let me do it because of that. Let me see if that works. Rats. Ugh, so mad right now. Okay, so back to what I was saying. So Ice Cube has this letter up. I'm gonna briefly go through it because that's just too much education in this little time, and I'll just burn your little ears up. Here we go. I'm so mad I can't get this up. It says a contract with Black America 2020. Just go to just go online and look it up because it's there. It's there. I can't even tell you where I got it from because it won't even let me pull up. Deadline.com, Ice Cube contract, Black America. That's where I got it from. That's what the link says. The contract is actually at PMC deadline 2.files.wordpress.com /2020 /08 Ice Cube Manifesto PDF. So if you type in Ice Cube Manifesto PDF, it should bring it up too. But here's the contract. So it talks about as citizens and lawmakers both, we join to demand contract with Black America addressed immediately to finally create the more perfect union all Americans deserve. Okay, it's a whole 3 or 4 paragraphs. Number one is bill to guarantee Black opportunity and representation. It's good, concise, straight to the point. All of this is very concise and straight to the point. Number two, bank lending reform. Number three, federal funding of baby bonds. Number four is Federal Reserve and government pensions. Okay. Number five is finance oversight. Okay, that's good. Personal data and credit, good. Prison reform, that's number seven. Number eight is judicial reform. Remember, the judges, all that stuff got to be right. Number nine is Police Reform Act. 10 is FCC licensing of public airways. Number 11 is Confederate monuments and institutions. I think they're doing a good job on that already, but yeah, let's get that done. 12 is AGP program for education and jobs. And 13 is Black responsibility. I'm really loving number 13. I love all of it. Let me tell you something. Take your time and go and read this. It's worth every second of your is. So, Ice Cube, again, my apologies. Looks like you're headed in the right direction. I'm woman enough to admit that and to join you in the fight. Yeah, yeah. What? We in there. So I'm excited actually about this plan of his. Like it is a good contract. And it's very concise for us to read, but of course you can go into in more details. They talk about some of the things Senator Booker proposed. So look, Ice Cube, if they don't listen to you, all I'm saying, dude, get that 9 out. You know what I'm saying? Get that, the AK out and handle your business. You know, hey, we got you. You go in on lockdown again, we got your commissary. We're gonna take care of you. No, I'm just joking. Ice Cube on a whole nother level. And so yeah, Ice Cube is out here. Look at that picture, y'all. That is funny. Okay, so anyway, Ice Cube is out here doing the work. He is out here doing the work. He's been very active. He's jumping on top of civil actions. And Ice Cube, you know what? You my dog. You what? Let's pound it up. Let's pound it up. Pound it up with me. Yeah. Remember his movie Straight Outta Compton that his son actually played in? That was dope. All right, Ice Cube. We're gonna see you later, dog. It was nice talking to you guys. What do you guys think about this Ice Cube move? I think it's a great move. I think the contract is legit what we need, and I like it. I like it a lot. All right, moving along. So the last thing we're going to talk about is almost like a revisiting the Meg the Stallion situation, but not quite revisiting the Meg the Stallion situation. Yeah, not quite going back to that. Let me see. Oh, you know what else I want to say about Ice Cube while I had Ice Cube up? I'm gonna play his little reel again. All right, rap is really one of those things that plays into the hand of white supremacy. It plays into the hands of white supremacy because it influences us to stay in a poverty mindset, which is gang violence, violence at all, cussing, acting a fool, drinking, drugs, being promiscuous, which leads to early sexual behavior, which leads back to poverty, drugs, alcohol, and all the other things that we don't really need in the African community because we already have our own struggles. And so I just wanted to throw that piece in there because, like, one of the things that Ice Cube actually mentions in this contract is literally to stop the creation of said types of music that influence our young people. And I need a real applause right here because Ice Cube, sir, for you to mention that, knowing your background as a rapper, and quite frankly, he still got some stuff out there now he doing that ain't, you know, where I would like it to be. But he brought that up in the contract, and I thought that was dope. Like, you got to be for real when you're talking about healing your people and healing our race. We have to be real about the influence of rap. Okay, it's one thing to tell a story and tell about the disenfranchisement or the racial disparities and all that, the disproportionate and all that. Pardon me, but it's another thing to try to reconcile the damage that you've done. And with Ice Cube, I kind of see this as his way of reconciling for the damage that he's done. With that being said, Ice Cube, I did see you on the gram not too long ago. Still talking about some itches and woes. Now, Q, you can't have it both ways. You're gonna have to clean up what you messed up, starting your life over again. Yeah, you're gonna have to get serious about that. But he did mention it in the contract, like ban that music and stuff like that. Now, I can honestly say this: if the police was different than Wet and Gushy, I'm gonna say that it wasn't no different. Now, Wet and Gushy is no different than Shake What Your Mama Gave Ya and all that stuff. Honey, Luke Skywalker then was a mess back in the day. But that stuff was no good for us. We didn't need that back then, and we don't need it now. You know why? Because half of us can't even stay married, and we in toxic relationships and got more baby daddies than Star Kids got tuna. So we need to stop. We really do. It's bad for us. We don't need it, and we really need to clean that up. So the last thing, yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's stop right here for a minute though, and do a little house cleaning, if you will. That's how I like to say it, a little house cleaning. Now I'm talking about all of these subjects that are near and dear to me. I don't know about you, can't speak for you. But there are some things that are near and dear to me, and so as being your conscious coach, there are things that I want to help you with. You might say, "Well, who am I?" Well, I told you that I'm chosen. Did I not tell you I was chosen? I'm chosen. I'm an educator, author, speaker, writer, minister of the gospel, honey. I'm a whole woman of God now. And so I take this very, very, very seriously. And what's the point in us? Somebody tell me, what's the point in us? We can make all the demands on America that we want, and we should, and we are. right? That we're clear on that. But at the same time, like Ice Cube said, number 13, there's work we have to do on ourselves. Some internal black work. I want to help you with that internal black work because I tell you this every time on this show. It's our time. It's time for us to break away from the curse. And I take that. I take that very seriously. And so I came up with what I call the Conscious Book Collection. Literally put the finishing touches on the Legacy Workbook today. So it should be ready. September 1st is right around the corner, but it should be ready. So the Legacy Workbook is one of the books you can find on my website at consciouscoach.org. You should be able to find that book and khconscious.com. I own both of those domains. Now, the Legacy Workbook is not up yet, but the rest of the books are there and they are ready for purchase. Another way you can support this show and all that I do is to cash out me at KV Product. That's the $ KV and Product. If you want to order one of the books and you don't want to use Amazon and you only have Cash App or Zelle or PayPal, let me know. We can make that happen. We definitely can make that happen. And so let's get into the Conscious Book Collection. And we're going to go back to Meg the Stallion, talk a little bit more about the Black women protection and why it's needed, and all the people who are speaking up, right? We're going to do that. Let me give you a look. This is the Legacy Workbook. The Legacy Workbook is all about building your conscious minds towards who we are as Black people. You know, I was telling my husband this morning that when I was in college, they had a thing that they gave us to study, and it was called the bell curve, understanding the bell curve. And one thing in the bell curve was it suggested that Black people are unintelligent and unable to learn. And so basically, it put us at the bottom of this curve and said, this is where Black people are mentally because they cannot strengthen, they can't learn, and all of that stuff. So the Black people were at the bottom of this curve called the bell curve. Look it up. This book is all about us having a real story, right? Not the story they want us to believe about ourselves, not the things they want us to believe about, slavery, because they want us to believe some dumb stuff about slavery, right? Like the slaves were having a good time, and when they were singing in the fields, they were all happy with joy, and that meant that they loved their master. And I break all of that down in simple terms to help us adjust how we even think about ourselves. And so also we'll know how to speak to people who like to bring that up as a part of the conversation as if it's real. This is excellent for your babies because they're going to be in school learning God knows what, strictly lies and garbage. And so part of this book is to help you establish a family covenant and a family crest. If you look at the front of the book, that's the crest that I designed for myself. Has all the components that I like and believe in. The book is knowledge. The tree is for knowledge and family and growth, family growth. The mind is for having the mental capacity to make critical decisions. We're thinking people. The crown is because I'm a queen, honey, and I come from Africa as a root. The cross on top of the crown is because of my faith. The lion represents my strength, my fight, my tenacity, my consistency to roam this earth as a queen, right? And then Herod, I chose the letters. Like every little piece of this is a part of me. The next book is Things I Wish I Knew. This book is a conscious mind guide to help you maximize your life and love experiences. Look, it's like telling you the story before you end up being the story. Great for moms and daughters, great for sister circles, great for church, all of that good stuff. You'll talk about everything: relationships, drama, religion, racism, rape, um, financial decisions, financial literacy, um, domestic violence, healthy relationships, cooking. I mean, I don't know. It's all in this book, though. It's a good book. So get this book, Things I Wish I Knew. Gorgeous book, by the way. I think you just look, you'll want it on your shelf just because it's pretty. I love pretty stuff. But you know, it's deeper than that. It's real guidance. And that's what we need in our black families. Real, true guidance. This book I'm gonna tell you about in the Conscious Collection. You see me at the bottom of that book with that big hair? Um, on the front cover, hurt people help people. Look, it's not enough, in my opinion, for me to tell you how much I hurt and what I went through and all of my childhood trauma and all of my childhood drama. It's not enough for me to do that. I also have to pair that with solutions. Also have to give you a tool to help you and your children have a better experience in what we call life. So if I tell you my childhood trauma, yeah, you can empathize with me. You can sympathize with me. You can tell me, Kathleen, I'm so sorry it happened to you. But I overcame it, right? I grew from it. I learned from it. No, it shouldn't have never happened. But guess what? I want to empower you and your children. I want to empower future generations for life. And so I wrote this book to help to educate us, to bring us to awareness, and to also provide a tool that could assist us. So not only did I give you a book, but I created an app that you can take advantage of as well, which helps with reporting. So get the book, download the app for absolutely free. And I went back and updated the app. So now it includes reporting about police engagement. So not only can your child report immediately to you through text message, email, or whatever, not only can they not just report immediately to you about chat room, about sexual assault, about bullying, cyberbullying, whatever might happen in their life, but they also can tell you if a police stopped them, asked them questions, anything like that. They can tell you where the police stopped them, what time it was, because they'll have that app and they can report to you immediately. You've never seen anything like this in the black community, I promise you. So grab this book and download the free app. Last but not least is So You Think You Want to Have Sex. Now, so you think you want to have sex. Listen, I sat in a classroom with eighth graders. In this eighth grade class, one of the things that they told me was that they feel pressured. They feel pressured to have sex. All the songs are talking about sex. They feel pressured to have sex. They feel depressed. They feel like they have no one to talk to, nowhere to go. It's trying to tell them to drink, to smoke, to have sex with multiple people, to perform fellatio on people. That's oral sex. To do anal. Look, I'm telling you, it's all out there in songs. You might be thinking renegade, 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 or um, I'm gonna take my horse down the old time road. Look, you better listen to those lyrics, because those lyrics are telling them some everything. Something about something in the box, something in the box. I just hit the lick for the box, and you know, dun, 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 I'm a good girl. You better go listen to them lyrics. You better go YouTube them lyrics, because those lyrics is popping. So then you got rappers out there like T.I. who is laughing. I know he disappointed, T.I. I know you disappointed, and I know it hurts. But for you to be on TV and casually having a conversation about your 15-year-old having sex, not cool. Not cool. But you're checking your daughter Hyman. Okay. I talk about all of that in this book. Help you have the conversation about sex with your children. All in this book. Yes, I do. All in that book. So those are from my conscious book collection. You ought to get into it because that's good stuff and we need it, right? I know we do. All right, let's get into this. ages 11 through 13, 11 being the most in demand for sex, to violate, to rape. You understand what I'm saying? You understand? Go back to my book, Hurt People, Help People. I'm telling you, it's some stuff in that book. So the most demanded for sex trafficking was 11-year-old black boys, and that was 2 or 3 years ago. Of course, now there's a demand up for black women and for black children, period. Guys, look, don't look at me like that. Because y'all like to live in a world where everything makes sense, and we're living in a world where nothing makes sense. Okay? They out here kidnapping whole human beings and stealing them for their sexual pleasure, to abuse them, use them, and then throw them away, to disregard them. If you think anything else, you are living in la la land, because that's simply, I'm simply just telling you the truth, whether you want to believe it or not. This is the world that we live in, where people simply live to take advantage of your children. Now, listen, um, listen, you think Epstein, Trump's buddy, went to prison for sex trafficking, human trafficking, all those little girls, all them little kids, which on record, there's an assault case, more than one, but one particular that I read for myself about Donald Trump and a 13-year-old girl, and I think she was from Idaho, Oklahoma, somewhere, where she lays out what happened, how Trump raped her. It's on record. I read it. It's a court document. Now, if somebody falsified a court document, that ain't my fault. I just read what was there. So stop living in this world where you don't understand that human trafficking is happening, right? Let me see. You live in this world where you think nothing is happening. Um, I'm just trying to type this so to be consistent. All right. You guys are living in this world where you guys are not thinking about the real world, right? Children are missing. When I listen, the first time I heard about human trafficking, children missing, and all of that. Oh Lord, how long? Far long? What was my? I'm trying to think. When was the first time I traveled? Oh, it had to be years ago. Um, Probably 15 years ago. 27. I'm 47 now. Was it just? Yeah, because before that I wasn't flying. 15, 16, 17 years ago. Whenever I took my first flight was the first time an Asian lady gave me a flyer about human trafficking. That was a good 15, 16, 17 years ago, somewhere up in there. Still to this day, when I went to Baltimore, I went to Washington, I went to the White House, all that stuff, 2016, I want to say. Again, they were handing out flyers for human trafficking, understanding organ harvesting. So, guys, those are real things. I wasn't hitting at a mosquito. Those are real things. Sex trafficking, human organ harvesting, human trafficking, which is nothing more than sex trafficking. If I was watching a show, and I'm gonna let you guys go. I was watching 2.5 Men the other day, and their mother was talking about how she wanted them to go to a party with her. And she said that she wanted to go to the party because all the people were going to be there who had all this money, right? Because in 2.5 Men, she's a real estate broker in a high end area, basically millionaires, and so that's her circle. And so she's talking about how she's going to go to this event, this party, and while at this event, she expects to meet the creme de la creme, the people with money, the folks that stack. And she expects to And she was talking about how some of these people have enough money to buy kids to live in their basements and do God knows what to them. Like, that's how real it is. I can only snap with one finger. But that's how real it is. And the longer we stay blind to it, it's really like the longer we stay victims of it. So Hosea and 46 Your Life. Get this whole conscious collection. September 1st is when the whole collection should be available, including the legacy workbook. I have in hand right here a copy of Hurt People, Help People. You can order it on Amazon or you can order it directly from me. Try to give it some better lighting because this is a pretty book. But the light is above my head. So that's Hurt People, Help People. These all ordered from Amazon. Things I Wish I Knew. Get this book. Read it with your daughter, please, especially if you have a college student. Read it with your son, your daughter. I'm telling you, we need these books. God didn't give them to me for nothing. I didn't write them for nothing. This is what we need. So Things I Wish I Knew. Let me see if I move it over here. Can you see it? Yeah, you can kind of see it better. Ain't that's a pretty book. Oh, let me see, since we got a little better. Oh, yay. Hurt People, Help People. Yay. Okay, and So You Think You Want to Have Sex. All available on Amazon, or you can reach out to me directly and get the book. Guys, you know what I want to say to you today? I just want to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining me on this live. I appreciate it. As I said earlier, I'm about to go and enjoy some good old barbecue. Hopefully you're having a great Sunday. Thank you for joining me. I am your conscious coach, Kathleen. You guys enjoy a wonderful, 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 can I say it again? Wonderful evening with your family.